Roger Federer and Andy Murray, two of the big four with completely different styles, but one thing in common, a determination to win. Over the course of 25 matches, Federer edged ahead with a 14-11 record, but stats alone don't tell the whole story. We'll see just how everything went down, starting with their first match in Thailand. The early years, Murray's rise. It all began at the Bangkok final in 2005. Murray and Federer were going to play against each other for the very first time. Federer was already a tennis god with 10 titles that season, strolling onto the court with all the confidence in the world. And then there's young Murray, a scrappy 18-year-old who looked like he had just wandered in from the juniors. He was a small boy then, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. The match itself was classic Federer, smooth, efficient, and just annoyingly good. As expected, he broke Murray early on. Murray, to his credit, hung in there, even fending off a couple of break points here and there. But Federer just wanted to wrap things up and get it over with. A backhand down the line here, a smash at the net there, and Federer cruised to take the first set 6-3. The second set gave us a glimpse of the Murray we've come to know. The kid started landing some punches, even breaking Federer to take the lead at one point. For a brief, glorious moment, it looked like we might get a fight, but then Federer, being Federer, decided that he had had enough fun. A late break, some clinical serving, and that was that. Straight sets, 6-3, 7-5. Title number 11 for Roger Federer in 2005. Murray got a pat on the back and the consolation prize of experience. But here's the thing about Murray, he's stubborn, and just a few months later he would win his first ATP title in San Jose, with the seeds of rivalry being planted. Bangkok might have been Federer's day, but Murray's rise was just getting started. The Grand Slam dominance of Federer. Let's talk about Roger Federer's dominance in the Grand Slam finals, specifically when Andy Murray was the poor guy on the other side of the net. We won't run through all the 25 matches they played against each other, but you need to hear about this part of the story to understand how everything went down. First, there's the 2008 US Open final. Murray had just taken out Nadal in the semis and probably thought, alright, I've got this. Then Federer showed up and turned the match into his personal highlight reel. Murray fought hard, don't get me wrong, even breaking Federer's serve at one point, but Roger Federer was flying around the court, hitting forehands so precise that they could probably split an atom. Murray was left running, sweating, and probably wondering what he had done in a past life to deserve this. Straight sets, 6-2, 7-5, 6-2. Federer picked up his 5th straight US Open and 13th Grand Slam overall. Poor Murray got a nice check, some respect from the crowd, and a front row seat to Federer's greatness. Then there was the 2010 Australian Open final. By this point, Murray was a 2-time Slam finalist, and optimism was in the air. Maybe, just maybe, this was the one. Turns out, it wasn't. Federer yet again reminded everyone why he is the GOAT. Murray played it well. Statistically, he wasn't too far off, but Federer just had that magic. He didn't just beat Murray, he toyed with him. Another straight sets win, 6-3, 6-4, 7-6. Afterward, a teary-eyed Murray gave us one of the most painfully relatable lines ever. I can cry like Federer, but I can't play like him. Ouch, that one hit straight in the feels. But let's be honest, who can play like Federer? Federer didn't just win these matches, he made it look effortless. But Murray was learning. Slowly but surely, the Brit was figuring out how to turn these painful lessons into future victories. Because, as we'd all come to see, Andy Murray was never one to back down. The turning point, Murray's Olympic gold. And now we'll take a look at the moment Andy Murray truly became Andy Murray, the 2012 Olympic final. Just a few weeks after his heartbreaking loss to Federer in the Wimbledon final, where he famously said, "I'm getting closer," Murray decided close wasn't good enough anymore. And what better way to prove that than absolutely demolishing Federer on the very same center court? Seriously, it wasn't even close. Murray came out swinging like he had been chugging adrenaline smoothies all week. He swept 9 straight games. He broke Federer's serve 4 times in a row and saved all 9 breakpoints he faced. It was like he found a cheat code to Federer's game. And the final score was 6-2, 6-1, 6-4. If you blinked, you might have missed it. Let's talk about that crowd though. If Wimbledon is normally polite applause and golf claps, the Olympics turned it into a full-on festival. Union Jacks everywhere, chants of "Andy, Andy," echoing across Murray Mount. It was like a national holiday. For Federer, this was supposed to be the crowning achievement of his career, a golden slam. Instead, he got a silver medal and the best view to Murray's genius play. To his credit, Federer was gracious, saying he felt like he had won his silver and not lost the gold. Sure, Raj, whatever helps you sleep at night. Murray was grinning like a kid who had just figured out how to ride his bike. "This has to be the best week of my tennis career by a mile," he said. And honestly, who could argue? For the first time, he wasn't the nearly man, he was a champion. Olympic gold on the center court? That's the kind of stuff you tell your grandkids about. Murray's major breakthrough. Okay, let's talk about the time that Andy Murray finally cracked the Federer code in a Grand Slam semifinal. And no, we're not talking about the usual calm and cool-headed Federer. This was Roger Federer unfiltered, complete with curse words and full-on drama. It was the first time many fans were seeing Federer so rattled. During the 2013 Australian Open semis, Murray was out there playing like a man on a mission. He took the first set, lost the second in a tiebreak, and then came back to win the third. Federer was visibly frustrated, and let's be honest, it was pretty entertaining. The BBC even had to apologize for the spicy language that slipped out. Imagine getting Federer so mad that you break his gentleman persona. That's a win in itself, right? The fourth set got a little out of hand. Murray was serving for the match at 6-5, and after a long rally, Federer started accusing him of hesitating mid-point. Federer shouted at Murray, but he didn't even take the bait. He just let Federer unravel himself. But Fed wasn't going out without a fight. He took the fourth set in a tiebreaker, probably fueled by annoyance, but Murray played it cool. He broke early in the fifth, played it just like it was another Tuesday, and closed out in 30 minutes. For Murray, this wasn't just a match, it was the turning point. And as for Federer, let's just say that he learned that Murray doesn't stop for anyone. Federer's late career dominance. In 2015, Federer was basically a 34-year-old defying both age and common sense. Seriously, late career Federer wasn't just winning, he was putting on exhibitions. Poor Andy Murray just happened to be one of his favorite targets that year. First, there was the Wimbledon semifinal. Murray was on his home turf and the crowd was roaring and royalty was watching. Prince Andrew was literally in the royal box. This clearly gave Murray all the motivation in the world. Federer, on the other hand, just strolled in like it was another day at the office and served out of his mind. Murray managed to get one breakpoint in the entire match, and Federer swatted it away like a fly. 20 aces, 80% first serve percentage for most of the match, and no mercy. Even Murray had to admit, I didn't play badly, he just served fantastic. The second game gave us a 14-minute game where Murray saved 5 breakpoints. You would think that would turn the tide, right? Nope. Federer simply shrugged, won the next service game in about 12 seconds, and then broke Murray to take the set. By the third set, it was clear. This wasn't just a tennis match. It was a Federer highlight reel. Murray's final shot got into the tram lines fittingly. And if that wasn't enough, Federer did it again in Cincinnati. This time, Murray came in exhausted after grinding through matches all week. Federer, fresh as a daisy, broke him early and casually wrapped up the first set in 38 minutes. In the second set, Murray clung on for dear life, but Federer took the tiebreaker with his second serve doing most of the heavy lifting. Post-match, Federer was all smiles. Meanwhile, Murray's silver lining was an extra day off before the US Open. What's your favorite Federer versus Murray moment? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed seeing the highlights of their rivalry, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story from the world of tennis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.